The LG V20 user here, and today I'm making a video about Android Q. So I'm on diverts.com here, and it says here Google desserts Android 10 is the official name for Android Q. So Google is quoting the dessert naming tradition for Android. So Android 10, Android Q will be called Android 10. That's the name of Android Q now is Android 10. There will be no dessert name for Q because I don't know, it's kind of interesting there. So let's check this out and see what it has to say about why Google did this. So there's the new Android logo right there. So yeah. So it says that Google has officially named the next version of Android, which is due to be released this fall, Android 10. Breaking the 10-year history of naming releases at the desserts, the company is balling on providing a code name beginning with the subsequent letter of the alphabet, in this case Q, which is the way we've been referring to Android up till now. This year is Android 10, next year will be Android 11, and so forth. And so it'll be Android 10, 11, 12, 13, and etc. etc. You just keep on going. So it'll be Android 10. Android 10Q, Android 11R, Android 12S, etc. etc. So no more dessert names for Android OSs anymore. So it's gonna be called Android 10Q, 11R, 12S, 13T, 14U, 15B, stuff like that. You know. After a quarter acquired the coincidence of Android brand has quickly changed out quarrel, resulting in a ordinary and putting the quixtastic quest to put a Q dessert out on the quiver. I don't know any Q desserts. You guys know any Q desserts? Let me know. I'll be interested to know your answers for Android Q desserts. It isn't, good guys can think of a dessert that starts with Q. Google won't quaver on the decision to move away from desserts, which answers a quadrillous questions about the names. There's a lot of keywords in this article. Pretty interesting, you know what I'm saying? Google has decided Google has decided it is a current transition that needed to be quite quashed, or at least quelled. Instead, the code name will be quarantined inside Google. So the person who writes the article says that they have qualms and feels queasy about the quantity of quips that will queue up quoting the Android source code in an attempt to quibble that the dessert names so qualify as real. It all seems like a quagmire, but at least qualitatively, the new naming scheme is less quirky. There was a lot of keywords on that article. There are a lot of keywords in that. Alongside the new name is an updated logo for Android. You gotta see right there on the bottom. One that all Grandon, global brand director of Android, says has a more modern wordmark. Importantly, and it will always include the little green robot, Andy, the Android robot. If you guys don't know what the robot's name is, Andy, the Android robot. I'm sure you guys knew that. Says the robot is what makes Android special. It makes it human, fun, and approachable. End quote. So here are the new Android logos here. This is the old one right here. This is the old logo right here. This is a new logo right here. Going with the new naming scheme for the 10th version of Android makes a bit of sense. It's a landmark release, so given how difficult it is to put a camera design to the letter Q, that's probably why Google did it, because it was kind of hard to think up a dessert name for Q. It's kind of hard. It says noted to Google's Samir Samat, VP of Vice President of Product Management for Android, that it was awfully convinced that Google picked this release to switch off the naming scheme. So there's the logo for Android 10. It's going to be Android 10. And it says we're going to deal with that skepticism. Google's actual reason for switching the naming, he says, isn't that cute is hard, but rather that desserts aren't very intrusive, very inclusive. We have some good names, but in each and every case, they leave a part of the word out. Yay, artists. Android is a global brand used by more people in India and Brazil than in the US. So going with an English word for dessert leaves some regions out. Pie isn't always a dessert. Lollipop can be hard to pronounce in some regions, and marshmallows aren't really a thing in a lot of places. Summit says numbers at least are universal, so he does make a good point on that. So number 10 is universal everywhere, but words are not. Google will still make the traditional Android statue of the robot, but it will be the number 10 instead of the dessert. So I guess you're gonna have the robot with the number 10 next to him. I guess that'd be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting. As for the new wordmark and logo, to my eye, it looks like the latest example in a long line of companies taking quirky wordmarks and turning them into Blandfield brands. It's definitely been a trend in the past couple of years. Gungun says that the changes were important to make the wordmark more accessible and readable, especially on the smaller screens. And in all honesty, when we did the acid test of doing it in really small spaces like the screen or phone boxes, the current loading was really a challenge. Most importantly, the wordmark is no longer green, it's black, which makes it much more readable and more contexts. So now it's black instead of green, so it's a lot easier to read. So that's good. The other thing that Gunn's 10 did was change the robot subtly by moving its size down and tweaking its antennae. More importantly, they pulled some yellow change out of the game to make it more readable, and also added some secondary colors to Android's overall brand palette to help with accessibility. Going forward, Android will be represented by more than green and gray. Gundam says only one of the secondary colors is also one of Google's primary colors, the blue. It was important that Google found a palette that wasn't too tied to the company, but also wouldn't adhere too closely to anything its major Android partners used. As for what the Q in Android Q actually stands for, Google will never publicly say, so it's going to be a mystery of what Q could have been called. It's going to be a mystery forever. So I'm sure Google has the name of Q, but they will not tell us. So when Android Q is released to everybody, something called Android 10 Q. However, some did hint that it came up in our conversation about the new naming scheme. A lot of Q's were tossed around, especially in this article right here. But my money is on Quince. While the official name of Android will just be Android 10, that isn't stopping the Android team from creating internal code names in alphabetical order. Something tells me that Google engineers have already chosen the word they will use internally for Android. Oh, so we don't know. So yeah. So basically now, Android is going to be called Android numbered in the letter. So Android 10Q, Android 11R, Android 12S. So there will be no more dessert names for Android. So Pi is the last dessert name for Android. Pi it will be the last dessert name for Android. So we've had cupcake, donut, eclair, Frego, gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream sandwich, jelly bean, Kit Kat, lollipop, marshmallow, nougat, Oreo pie. That was a lot of names there. So Pi is the last name for Android dessert name. So it's going to be called Android 10Q. So it's going to be called Android 10. That's the official name for Android Q is Android 10. So there is no dessert names, but that's not stopping people from coming up with names for Q, because it could be anything. So if you guys have like any possible dessert names for Q, let me know down below. I would like to know your thoughts on that. So I wonder what the logos and the logo. We're probably gonna have the Q logo. That's probably what we're gonna have is Q. The Q logo, maybe 10. I don't remember what the first logo is gonna be. It's probably gonna be the Q logo, like it has been during the Q betas. It's probably gonna just be this Q on there. So yeah. So this is pretty interesting. So Google is moving away from tradition here, and they're going a different route with Android OSs now. So instead of it being named after desserts, it's not going to be called Android 10, Android 11, Android 12, etc., etc. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys like this change? Did you guys like the dessert naming scheme and stuff like that? My favorite OS is Android Oreo. So that's just my favorite Android. My favorite Android OS so far is Android Oreo, because I have experience with Android Oreo. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite OS is Android Oreo. So yeah. And I also like to know, what is your favorite Android OS? I would like to know that as well. So yeah, this is pretty interesting, and yeah, I would love to know your thoughts about Google ditching dessert names and going for the Android 10 naming for the Q there. So yeah, that's pretty much it there. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, guys. It will smell a lot. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.